Hi there, good afternoon, Steph here from Hofkissed. Welcome to another, sorry, I'm trying to fix my phone there for the video and shaking the camera. Anyway, happy Wednesday! Welcome to my weekly Wednesday video. Sorry I'm a bit late. I just got in the door not that long ago, and then it was like a whole stream of events. So the big news is that I'm so freaking excited. There's a new handmade shop opening in Cambridge, Ontario. It's called Beautifully Unique Handmade Boutique. It's all filled with handmade vendors, and I'm so freaking excited to tell you that my cards will be in the shop. So that is why I have been MIA. I have been crazy busy trying to bring up all my stock because I have to stock a shop, which I'm very excited about. But I also have a couple of other events coming up, some vendor shows, and I have my online store myself. So I needed to make a lot of cards to fulfill all of those areas, and so I've been busy doing that. So I just walked in the door from there. This was the card that I was going to demonstrate, and then I realized that I brought the sample to the store to stock it in the store, so I had to make a sample to show you, and then my dog didn't want to come in, so that's why I'm a tad late, but welcome. Not too late. I usually try to aim for 2 o'clock, so it's 2:06 on a Wednesday afternoon. And oh, that was a lot of information. Okay, so this is the card that I'm going to show you today. This little bit down here, it's called the Eclipse Technique. So if you haven't heard or seen this online before, then I wanted to showcase that. And I also needed to replenish lots of baby cards. When I went to figure out what to stock in this new store, I realized I only had like 1 or 2 baby cards. So this is what I came up with. Now, I have no idea where this element came from. I'm going to show you a box. I have several of these boxes. They're like stackable containers. It's just filled with punches and bits and pieces, and I have several things like that, like this one here, like all these little elements. I think I borrowed this die from a friend. Paula, I think I borrowed that from you. So I just had a bunch of these die cuts here, and I had put the colored backing on there. So I kind of designed the card around this piece. But I'm sorry, I cannot tell you where I got it from because it was just in my box of stuff. But I'm going to show you how to do the rest of the card. Now, I already have this, as I said, pulled out of one of my magic boxes here, and a few other pieces. Let's just push that aside. I am using some, what's this paper called? Twinkle Twinkle designer paper. So it's all these cutesy little, not just baby, but could very well work for baby. Twinkle. Some little stars, also from one of my magic boxes, because I don't like throwing stuff out, especially this yummy gold foil paper and shimmer paper. So I had a bunch of those stars. Whisper white card base. So cut at, let's see, this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So when you fold it in half, it is now 4 1/4 by 5.5. Then I have a piece of gray granite cardstock. It measures 4 by 5 1/4. Hi, Melissa. I think you're gone. I'm sorry, I didn't see when you jumped on. I don't know if you're still there, but hello. I do not pay attention to comments and stuff, as I've said before, but I really appreciate everyone that watches and takes the time to comment. So, okay. See, I get so distracted. All right. I'm not ignoring you. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Gray granite. So it's 4 by 5 1/4. I've already gone ahead and heat embossed this, so you don't have to listen to me using my heat tool. I pulled the sentiment here, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, from the Little Twinkle stamp set. So heat embossing, you need your embossing buddy, and you rub it all over your cardstock, get rid of the static. I use, let's see, what did I do? Just so I can show you the steps. Versamark ink. So you ink up your stamp set in Versamark. It's a slower drying sticky ink. Stamp the image, and then I poured white embossing powder all over top. And I came in with my heat tool. And it magically dries, and it has a bit of a texture and a bit of a sheen. So, in a nutshell, that's what heat embossing is. Then, to do the Eclipse technique, I'm using this moon and star punch. Not sure what it's called offhand, but once you've heat embossed this, I'm going to bring it in. I'm just kind of eyeballing. I like this T in the moon and kind of this here, and I'm not sure how far up I went, but it depends where your image is. And obviously the punch only goes so far, so just be wary of that, that you're not doing this in the middle of your card and then you can't get your punch to reach. But you can do it with dies if you have dies. Okay, so I don't want to lose any of these pieces. I think I got them all. Oh, they're stuck to me. So now I have this element here. And before I go and glue that down, I want to add this little detail here with the punch. So push these aside. I'm going to bring in this border punch here because I wanted a little bit of fancy detail. And I hardly ever use these border punches, so it was just eyeing me on my shelf. So how they work is you just kind of line it up in the middle here. And then, I'm not sure if you can see, you have these pictures here, and you line the punch up with the picture and along the back grid here. And then in one moment, we will have the piece that we need. So I already did one. So I wanted to just, whoops, show you that one. Oh, I'm kind of a hot mess. My studio is a disaster. As you can imagine from all this creating I've been doing. So before my video, I just kind of shoved everything to the side. And, but I didn't need to tell you that because you can't see it in the video. Okay, I'm going to flip my paper over. This is 1 1/4, I think. Hold on. Yes, 1 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And I'm just going to run some tape runner down the back side. I'm not going to use a Tombow because I just wanted something to hold this down in place before I glue it to my card or my card layer. So I could have done, so I could flip it this way and get a cute little scallop, or I can flip it this way and get kind of a lacy image. And there's these little dots in here, so I'm just kind of hiding right up to those dots, and I'm hiding it behind the paper. And because I ran the tape runner down the back, it's going to be held in place. Let me try to fix that. All right, and that looks good. Sometimes I have to snip off some of the ends. So, just going to glue that, because I still have the tape runner in the middle. That's going to stick down like that. Now I can go ahead and add, oh, see, this is gonna bug me. A smidge, like not even a smidge, hanging over the side. Gotta cut that off. Okay. Add some glue to the back. And around all my stars and my moon. And if you think you see something there, you do, because I didn't like how low it was. Always two sides to the paper. Then I'm going to glue that to the front of my card base. Okay, so far so good. Now we are going to do, oh, I did it again. Okay. When I did this once when I created the card, and then I learned my lesson, and then I did it again when I recreated my sample, because as I said, I brought the other one to the shop, and now I just did it again. So you're gonna see, because I want to stamp these stars here, but I don't want it to end up on my card base. So now you're going to see, I'm going to grab a scrap of paper, and I want to butt it up against here so that it doesn't end up. I told myself so many times. I gotta write myself a note. Okay. I want this cluster of stars here. So I'm going to ink that up, and now, see, because that might have ended up on my card, and now it doesn't. So I'm just going to take this just to make sure that it doesn't end up on my card base. Now, normally you wouldn't do it this way. Don't do what I do. But if you did happen to do it that way, there's a little trick for you. Okay. I want to do that on the inside too. So I'm going to add another piece of this paper. This one measures 1 inch by 4 inches. So I get that same sort of border around. And then I want to come in and stamp some of these. You know, I love doing the inside of the cards. It's like an extra little surprise. Okay, we can close this up now before I get all inky. So now, the Eclipse technique. So there are several areas here that I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to bother filling them in because I liked that you could see the white through the back. I am, however, going to take all of the pieces here that had, which one was it? That had, oops, a little bit of the embossing on it. I'm going to come in with my mini dimensionals here, and I'm going to pop up the moon, so I'm adding them into the space, and I want to pop up this bigger star. This teeny tiny one, this little one here, I'm just going to glue flat. So, because it's such a teeny tiny one, I'm going to bring in my take your pick tool, and it has a sticky thing on the back, so I can pick up these teeny tiny embellishments. And let's see, how did this go in? Like this, I think. There we go. So that's just going to fit back in there. I'm going to peel off the backs of all my dimensionals. And then I can come in here and fit it right back in place, but it's popped up, so it adds a nice little element. Is this on camera? Yes. There we go. So that's the Eclipse technique. Cool, eh? Now, to finish things off, I'm coming in with this mystery piece that I'm not sure where it came from. Paula, when you watch this, if you watch this, I think you watch them, let me know. I think you have this die, and I cut it from you probably like 2 years ago. Probably with all of these little pieces. Oh, and this too, I think. Oops, sorry. Let me know, Paula. I think those are all from your dies. Okay, and I'm finally putting them to use. Isn't that exciting? I still need that. Okay. I'm going to add these little stars, also from one of my magic boxes. I do still have this little star punch though. Long retired from Stampin' Up, but perfect to add little embellishments here from gold foil paper. So I'm just gluing these flat, and a shimmer one, glimmer one, glue that up there. And then I don't want the little dot, but on the inside I added a gold foil, like so. And then these teeny tiny dots, and I just added a dot of Tombow there, and then I can come in with my tool again. These are the ones that I didn't fill in on the front of the card. And put those in there. So there you go. What do you think? Let me know. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Sorry again for being a bit late. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and let me know what you think of this card, and we shall see you again next week. All right, have a good one. Bye.